Picture the confident saver of 70s. Their prosperity was real, yet their retirement fund was simply a growing number on a piece of paper, unknowingly awaiting its greatest betrayal just 1 year later. You believe in the stability of your government, the strength of the dollar, and the power of compounding interest. You believe your wealth is safe. Fast forwarding to today, 4 years of near-zero interest rates, trillions in digital money creation, and systemic inflation that's silently incinerating the purchasing power of your every dollar. But right now, a new class of wealth is being forged in the AI gold rush. These founders, engineers, and early investors are amassing capital faster than any generation before them. Yet, they are not behaving like the old money. They are not trusting the dollar, the euro, or the bond market. They are making one profound, crucial decision that is the key to capital preservation in this new era. They have cracked the code of historical financial collapse, recognizing the currency illusion for what it is. This is the collision of the past and the future, and their strategy reveals the only viable shelter against the systemic debt collapse. This is what the AI millionaires know about wealth and why they are getting out. The unseen problem, the one that blinds most modern investors, is the trap of nominal wealth. It is the comfort of seeing a larger number in your bank account, even as that number buys less and less real-world value. To truly understand this, we must look beyond Rome and travel to 16th century Spain. Spain was the first global superpower, fueled by a continuous, unbelievable stream of gold and silver from the New World. The Spanish crown, facing endless wars and extravagant spending, had a seemingly infinite budget. They thought they had solved the problem of finance, but the vast influx of precious metals did not make the average Spaniard richer. It triggered the price revolution, because the supply of money, gold and silver, grew faster than the supply of goods and services. Prices skyrocketed across Europe. While the wealthy landholders and merchants could adjust, the common man, whose wages were slow to rise, was pauperized. This wasn't inflation in the modern sense, it was a systemic revaluation of money itself. The government had gained enormous nominal wealth, but the purchasing power of its currency was fatally eroded by its own success and its constant seizure of new supply. Today, the digital printing press has replaced the Spanish galleon. Our central banks have created more currency in the last 15 years than in the previous century. The effect is identical to the price revolution, an explosion of asset prices and crippling consumer inflation. We are living in an environment of unprecedented monetary expansion, and the illusion of value is all that keeps the system intact. The AI millionaires, trained in systems and code, do not see currency as a given. They see it as an algorithm, and they've recognized the fatal flaw in the modern fiat algorithm. What defines the modern tech pioneer? They build systems on code, logic, and absolute scarcity. They operate in a world where if-then statements are fixed and inputs lead to predictable outputs. When they look at the financial system, they see a sprawling, multi-trillion-dollar system built on the most illogical, unpredictable input: political decree. Their wealth preservation strategy is a fundamental, almost cold-blooded rejection of the technology of fiat money. They are seeking assets with an enforced scarcity that cannot be manipulated by Congress, the Treasury, or the Federal Reserve. Consider the history of wealth protection. When empires failed, what survived? Land, gold, and intellectual capital. These are assets that are intrinsically difficult to produce more of, and thus hold their value through the transition of power. The modern AI millionaire is investing in a new class of digital gold assets that are mathematically capped and require enormous real-world energy, proof of work, to secure. This is not about the volatility or the hype. It is a calculated, strategic investment in autonomy and political neutrality. They understand that fiat money, which has no cost of creation and an infinite supply, is fundamentally unstable when stacked against their own, technologically generated wealth. They recognize that if a government can endlessly print money, it can effectively tax away their wealth without legislation. Their investment choice is, therefore, a non-violent financial protest, a calculated escape. The mainstream investor is anchored by loyalty to a national currency. The AI millionaire is anchored only by the logic of mathematics. When those two anchors clash, the logical anchor always pulls harder. The danger in a debt-addicted system isn't just inflation. It's the sudden, radical loss of confidence, the acceleration of money velocity. Weimar Germany didn't collapse because of the level of printing. It collapsed when the speed at which people exchanged their paper marks for anything real became instant. Once the people understood that the paper was merely a rapidly depreciating coupon, the market for the currency vanished. The modern central bank has only one tool to stop this velocity: high interest rates. But today, global debt is so enormous, from sovereign nations to zombie corporations, that high rates become an extinction-level event for the entire financial system. The political impulse will always be to cut rates, print, and inflate, thus validating the AI millionaires' core thesis. The AI world operates on first principles. They have seen the data. When debt-to-GDP ratios reach critical thresholds, the historical solution is always default via inflation. Their ultimate move is a bet on the global contagion of financial distrust. They are moving their capital into assets that are instantly transferable, globally accessible, and outside the jurisdiction of any single failing state. Their wealth is designed to be liquid and sovereign-proof, a fortress against the inevitable attempt by governments to seize, tax, or devalue assets to pay for their impossible debts. This is capital preservation executed at the highest possible level of systemic risk analysis. It is historical knowledge applied with futuristic precision. The Roman elite, the Spanish merchants, and the Weimar industrialists all shared one fatal belief: that their government would protect their financial trust. All were proven catastrophically wrong. The AI millionaires of today have taken the ultimate historical lesson to heart. The only money you can truly trust is the money no one can create more of. This leaves us with the cold, hard question of the century. If those who are building the future are systematically rejecting the value storage mechanism of the past, are you truly acting as a risk manager by staying in a system they have calculated will fail? Or are you simply practicing a dangerous form of financial loyalty? The ship is sailing into a storm it cannot outrun. Have you secured your lifeboat?